your dream reality is not ever going to fully make sense to someone until they see you living it. Manifesting your dream life requires some level of delusion. What's good, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a sit down video, which, by the way, I miss filming these so much. I feel like I've been learning so much over the past few months. So hopefully this video resonates in some way. I've been talking a lot on my channel about the importance of having a community. It feels really nice to have people in your life that you can open up to and that you can be vulnerable with and share your hopes and your dreams with. But I will say one thing that I've been learning recently is that there is a level of discernment that we all need to have when it comes to sharing our plans with other people. I've talked about this on my channel before, but I really want to touch on it specifically in this video because I think it's so important. If we want to manifest our dream lives, we have to know when to shut our mouths, when to stop talking to other people about our plans, and when to recognize that not everyone in our lives is going to get what we're trying to do, and that's okay. It feels really, really good to talk to people and again, to open up about what we want, about like the future that we see for ourselves. But sometimes what tends to happen, actually, I feel like most times what tends to happen is when we share our goals with other people, we are opening ourselves up to other people's fears, doubts, and insecurities. And this is not anyone's fault. Everyone naturally, like subconsciously, carries around fears and limiting beliefs based on their own experiences. So everyone is seeing the world through their own lens, which a lot of times can be clouded with fear. So when you're sharing your dreams with people, sometimes the people in your life may be projecting their own fears and limiting beliefs and their own programming onto you and your dreams. And if you're like me, you may be a little bit more susceptible to that projection. For me, I really value the people in my life and what they have to say, because I feel like at this point in my life, I feel like I have a really good community of people around me. Like I really look up to every single person in my life in different ways. So sometimes when I go to different people for advice or just to share about, different things that I have planned, when they say something that doesn't always resonate with my view of things, it can really get into my head. Like sometimes I can leave conversations with people feeling like I am dreaming too big, or maybe my timeline is a little bit too quick, or maybe I'm just doing too much in general. But when I sit down and really ask myself, like, how do I view the world? How do I really envision my future looking? I recognize that, like, okay, when I'm stripping away everyone else's opinions, everyone else's views and advice and X, Y, and Z, I can have whatever the fuck I want. Like I can really be and do whatever the fuck I want. Whatever you want to manifest, you can have. But when you are listening to other people's limiting beliefs, when you are absorbing that, again, even if they're coming from the best place possible, that may be blocking you mentally as well. You may, without even really meaning to, subconsciously absorb other people's fears, other people's limiting beliefs, other people's worries and insecurities. And so for me, as I've started to open up more to my friends and my family recently, especially after my breakup, I also had to start seeing and recognizing that not everyone's going to get it. Not everyone wants the same thing out of life as I do. Not everyone has the same beliefs about what reality can even be as me. Literally no one is ever going to fully understand how you see the world. Like it's literally just not possible. We as humans and spiritual beings are growing, evolving, and changing every single day. So the version of you that existed yesterday may not be the same as the version of you that exists today. But naturally in relationships, people will hold on to whatever version of you makes the most sense to them. Your family members may still see you subconsciously as the little kid growing up. They may not fully understand every aspect of you. They may not fully understand every version of you. Same thing with your friends. You may even have different friend groups who understand you in different ways. So recognizing that, you also have to recognize that your dreams, your dream reality is not ever going to fully make sense to someone until they see you living it. For me with this YouTube channel, I've talked about this quite a few times. Like when I started out doing this, a lot of people were like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, actually, what is this? Like, please be fucking for real. Like, I had friends who were literally clowning me, which granted, sometimes I was even clowning myself when I started this out. Like, I was not taking it that seriously at first, but I had a lot of people in my life who did not understand what I was doing until I blew up. And until I was able to quit my job, and until I now live in my dream apartment. And I'm not saying that to brag, but I'm saying that to say that again, a lot of times people don't understand what that vision is and why you're working so hard towards something or why you may have certain goals until you're there and until sometimes they see you winning doing it. So while you are working towards your dream life, do not exert your energy trying to get people to understand what you are doing. That again is not your job. Your job is to truly peel back the layers of fear and doubt that you have learned from your own experiences, right? Understand your own limiting beliefs, understand where those come from so that you can start attracting abundance. But you also again need to have those guardrails in place so that you are not allowing other people's limiting beliefs into your field of thinking as well. So it can be very tricky. And honestly, I think that this topic can be taken a little bit too far. I'm not saying to go off and isolate yourself. And when someone asks you about your goals and your dreams, you're like, oh, I'm not saying shit. Like, y'all aren't gonna know until you see it. Like, don't be weird about it. You know what I'm saying? I think it's really about finding balance. And honestly, I think one of the key ways to do that is to live kind of like in delusion. Honestly, manifesting your dream life requires some level of delusion. It requires you to somewhat be, again, in your own world to a point where, like, okay, you may think that I'm crazy right now. You may think that this is not gonna work out, but just you fucking wait. And I think the way that you can do this is to, one, really know yourself. Like, you really want to know yourself well enough to where when someone tries to tell you something that is not aligned to you and your mission and what you're trying to do, that you don't feel the need to get them to understand what's going on. You have enough confidence and knowingness in what you're doing and what you want your reality to look like to where, again, someone else's opinion is not going to throw you off. I think for me, the goal is to really be able to get to a point to where it's like the entire world is telling me one thing, and if I don't believe in that, then I'm still able to walk my own path. And honestly, I know that I'm not at that place yet, and I don't think that most of us are. But again, we have to have a sense of awareness to recognize that, again, not everyone is going to get it. When someone is telling you advice, when someone is trying to give their opinion on your goals, you need to be able to recognize, is this aligned to me and what I actually believe in or not? And that's when you learn to also then set boundaries. There's certain people in my life that I just don't talk to about certain things. Again, I have so many people in my life that I look up to for different reasons, but I can also recognize where some people also have wounds in certain areas of their life. And again, where they may be projecting their own fears, their own doubts, their own shame. And that can apply to literally anything. That can apply to love and sex and how you even dress and how you know, it's so beyond just you trying to manifest your dream career or your dream life in terms of like wealth and abundance. That can literally apply to any topic. And so for me, I've really had to recognize, like, okay, I have certain friends, certain family members that I talk to about certain things. I don't want you to get trapped into this echo chamber where people in your life cannot be real with you about things and you're only going to people to hear what you want to hear. You do want to have people who can hold you accountable and be real with you and tell you things that sometimes you don't want to hear. But again, you really want to know yourself to a point where you recognize who is aligned to your values in specific areas of your life. But again, also recognize that it's okay to have people in your life who think differently than you. It's okay to have people in your life who don't fully get it. You don't need to cut everyone off and only have friends in your life who see the world the same way as you. You don't need to do that. Hopefully you have people in your life who are committed to healing, who are trying to, again, strip back their own layers of their own limiting beliefs. But you have to recognize that, again, we're all healing. Like, you're never gonna have someone in your life who is not without their own insecurities, their own worries, their own doubts. If you do have people in your life who are trying to always project that onto you, who are like actually always trying to be up in your business and really trying to get in your head about your dreams, that's when you can really know, like, okay, I'm gonna have to cut you off. Like, that's when you can really lay down that boundary. But I think it's, again, really important to just recognize that it's okay to have people in your life who think differently than you. And again, if you know yourself enough, people's opinions being different will not throw you off. And again, you will be able to recognize when people are coming to you from a place of love and a place of fear. So yeah, hopefully this video was helpful in some way. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys have had any of these like lessons applied into your real life. I say this all the time, but I learned so much from y'all as well. So I'm really interested to see like what your experiences have been with other people and learning, again, how to protect your own energy. And yeah, I hope you guys are having an amazing week, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.